Okay, welcome. My name is Abba. Today I'm going to be comparing two things that have been sparking debates all over the internet. Now, first, it is going to be cooking at home or buying food from a restaurant or buying food for takeaway. That's our main debate for today. So we are going to be comparing both sides and we see what saves money in the long run. So now the first things to consider, remember if you're cooking at home, you have to first consider the things you're going to use. Now, do you have the materials for cooking? The materials whereby I mean a saucepan and other things to consider. Now, we have not yet considered the prices and everything. We are still on just essential things that you need to be with to know that you're going to what? You're going to cook. Now we have fuel. That is going to be maybe gas, then charcoal. Okay, now even before we go on, we are considering the fact that, let me say, okay, this comparison is mainly for campus-based people or people that are not many. Let's say like 2 to 3 people. Now, let's say, remember all these items are costing money before even this guy that is buying food spends anything. Now, for you, you're already buying these cooking materials, you have to invest in gas, whereby you don't know how much gas you're going to be using or how much charcoal and everything. Now we go to the ingredients. Yes, some of the ingredients you have to add in the food and everything. Now we also consider the aspect of time and also effort. Yes, remember when you're preparing food, there's going to be time wasted. And a person like me, I value my time so much. Now consider the aspect of food wasting. Remember, all the food you have cooked, you won't eat all of it. And another thing, when you prepare your food, it doesn't mean you're going to eat that for lunch and supper. You can be fed up of the food even before you complete the meal. So you have to also bear that in mind. Then we have what we call variety. Yes, you have to consider if you're going to prepare food at home, if let's say you want to eat a variety of food, it is going to be costly somehow compared to this guy that is going to go to a takeaway and he's going to order like batch of foodstuffs and the amount will be charged accordingly. But now we are going to compare like according to price. Then we evaluate, is it worthy cooking at home? Let's say you're with your girlfriend, just like 2 people. Is it worth it to cook? Or will it save money in the long run? Hmm. Okay, now we are going to first consider like pricing and everything. We are going to compare basing on local foods. Yes, we are going to base on matoke, rice, then meat, and maybe some greens. Yes, now we're on the buying part. Now let's say you've just bought this from a restaurant. Yes, they like approximately they'll tell you something like 5K. Okay, let's say 5K. Now here we come to cooking at home. Now, cooking, let's say you're going to buy a cluster of bananas. Now, I'm going to just use maybe estimated prices or basing on market prices to consider like the pricing and everything. Now, let's say for a batch of matoke, you're going to use like 25K. Then for rice you can decide to buy like, let me say a kg. A kg is like at 4K. Yes, basing on. Then meat, let's say you buy maybe half a kilogram. Half a kilogram, let's say it is estimated like at 8K to 10K. But let's go with 8K. Now, for greens, you can decide maybe to buy for like 1K. Now, we have the part of ingredients, stuff, and okay, some groceries you have to buy. Yeah, now those ones, like for the ingredients, we can decide to go with something roughly like maybe 3K. Maybe to cater for only this meal. But remember, this meal now, this is half a kg of meat. Then this is for rice. This is a kg. Now this is matoke. Now this is for the greens. Now these are for ingredients and everything. Now here, remember we are catering for a budget of like 3 people. Now for the kg of rice, it is really enough. For matoke, this matoke, it can take you guys like let me say 3 days. But remember, you won't eat it like every day. Now for the rice, you can decide to eat it for that day, then and everything. Now roughly when you estimate, it is, let me say here, 30, 38, it is like roughly 42. I don't know if it's correct. Yeah. Now that is for the day. Now remember, these are like 3 people. Now let's say we have not even counted money for gas or charcoal. Now let me say, supposing you already have those. Now here we come. We have gone to our random restaurant. We have gotten the whole things at maybe 5K. Now remember, we are 2 to 3 people. Now let me say this is 15K for the for the other for the other people. Now for remember, lunch and supper. Now here, let's say we went to the restaurant, we bought a meal each at 5K. Now it is 30K, lunch and supper. And now here for you, fine, we've catered for lunch and supper, but now there are things that are going to be done. Just now, these ingredients, you can use all of them. Greens, you're going to consume all of them. This meat, you're going to consume it. You won't tell me you're going to keep it for 3 days. The rice, now the only thing that remains is the what? Is the mato. Okay, since it is a what? Since it is a batch. Now, roughly when you estimate, you who has prepared home. Now, we are skipping the fact that you don't know how much charcoal you'll use, or let's say you bought gas like at maybe 120K, and it can support you, or it can run for like a month. Now we are skipping those factors, just like we are skipping the factors of transport to take you to the restaurant. Now, here when you estimate, in my view, I feel like this person, like let's say in a month's time, this person that has been maybe paying this 5K to the restaurant person or something, this I feel like these people get more value compared to the one that is cooking at home. In what way? Now, first of all, time. You see now, cooking, yes, fine. Cooking, you get natural food, you get the real value and everything, but there's what they call time. And in this aspect, we are considering people like the students, okay, people like, that are working 9 to 5. And you see, by the time you come back from work, you're already exhausted. Then cooking, let me tell you, cooking is roughly, okay, it takes an average of like 2 hours to cook a super meal like this. Remember, you have to add stuff and everything. It will take you an average of like 2 hours to prepare that good meal. But here, I'll just pull up at someone's restaurant or something. They give me the food right there. I'll get everything. Now, maybe considering the cooking, maybe the only good factor you get maybe good value for food, all the nutrients. You get all the nutrients if you have just cooked. Now here we are looking at potential. Yes, for if it is in terms of financial saving, like for a month, remember, even if you buy something, even if you buy matoke that will last for a month, trust me, you won't eat that matoke every day. But here you can interchange when you're buying. When you're buying, you can interchange stuff. Then there you have to, okay, you can get like a variety of, you can eat a variety of things compared to here. Now here, when you buy your rice, trust me, you have to feed on that. After you won't let it go bad, or you won't just throw it away. Trust me, you have to eat that rice, whereby it's like you're living under pressure. You're not even eating what you want. Let me say that like that. But here you can decide, today I'm eating cold fish. My dear, if you want to eat fish, a kg is roughly 20k. It is roughly 20k, of which if you 2 to 3 people, you will decide to maybe buy maybe half a kg, which is 10 grand. Now, here, me, I've come here, maybe let's say they have added core fish. Fish, if they have added, it can be like 6 kg. Mind you, we are comparing for the budget person or that low person, and they're just surviving with a girlfriend or maybe with also a friend or something. Maybe people that are in hostel. Now, that's the comparison we're doing. Now here, we are still looking into how it's saving. Because mind you, in my perspective, I think buying is because it saves you a lot of stuff. Now, another factor I might consider is maybe the food wasting. Yeah, because if you consider that factor of wasting, because now you can buy here, let's say matoke or something, then in a due course, it might become ripe because you won't be feeding on it every day. Yeah, there are some days you can even decide to just take tea and live on. So the factor of food wasting, here someone that just buys randomly, that person will get a point. Yes. Compared to you, remember you've already wasted this money. But now considering only the money for matoke, this one can run 5 days for someone that is buying just a plate at 5k each. Now, all in all, the deduction is me, in my perspective, it feels like if I buy a plate of 5k every day, let's say I'm buying that for like 30 days, that is around 60k. Let's say I'm buying lunch and supper, which is roughly like 120k a month for lunch and supper. But now for you, a month, you have to consider, now let's say you bought gas or charcoal. Gas is roughly like, okay, let me say you got a chance, they gave you gas and you want to refill. Refill is like 60k. Now, mind you, you haven't stocked this other stuff. Now, rice. To buy rice that will run you like for the whole month, you have to buy like 10 kgs, which is roughly 40k. Now, matoke, you can decide maybe to buy, yeah, like for 25k, you know how you will use it. But now for groceries that will run you for a whole month, my dear, trust me, to require something like 20k for, yeah, cooking oil stuff, onions and everything. You know how that stuff moves. Now, what else am I leaving? Yeah. But basically, when you base on a budget, there's a way buying is cheaper and okay, yeah, in the long run than cooking, and feels like buying you get more value compared to the person that is cooking. Thank you.